Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sam Harkin and welcome back to Hannibal, the anime, the video game, otherwise known as I Am Sorry, because I keep forgetting to put in warnings and there's gross and awful stuff, but you shouldn't be watching it with your children. If you I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be watching this with your children. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry that I haven't included this and possibly given you panic attacks, but I'm sorry, but if you did not tell from the first one, firstly that there was warnings and the fact that it was obviously scary, I am sorry, but I'm sorry, I can't do anything. Also, I'm sorry that this intro has gone on so long. Let's just do the thing. Dot 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 dot. Oh my god, I need to work on this to make sure that it's actually like at the right setting thing for the distance. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Sorry if it's like way too loud. Anyway, where's Omi? Oh, okay. Nothing. This is the third day in a row they haven't been able to get in touch with Omi. I knew it. And it's great because they stored the body in the fridge, so one of them can just bumble their way in and be like, "What's this? Omi's head in a fridge? You psychotic." Well, I mean, he is a psychotic murderer. Yeah, he's lost touch with reality. There's no sign that she returned to her apartment, and even her family doesn't know anything. Her parents have already filed a missing persons report. Well, you know her. She'll probably pop up somewhere like nothing happened. Well, no, she's not. Oh shit, what was her voice? Okay. See, the problem is most of them I base on stereotypes and just terrible accents, and then there's some that I don't. So, well, I hope so. Wait, I need like American English. Well, I hope so. Oh, I forgot to do all the other shit. Sorry. Yo hasn't seen Fuminori since then, and Fuminori hasn't. Fucking. Why do I keep doing that? And Fuminori hasn't made any effort to approach her or could. Wait, actually, could I go like in reverse kind of stuff? Do. Where is it? Ah, no. Wait. Yo replies with a gloomy expression. She's worried about Omi, of course. But the incident with Fuminori 3 days ago must still be weighing on her mind as well. Hey Koji, let's keep thinking. Isn't there somewhere Omi might have gone? Oh my god. Maybe he went to her house. Please don't say that. No. Koji answers evasively. I've already checked everywhere. It's a lie, of course. Koji knows where Omi planned to go that evening, but he doesn't want to bring Fuminori up in front of Yo. So what? Okay, so here's what's happening. The friend is going to be going over there by himself like a fucking idiot. Our awkward silence is mercifully broken by the bell signaling the start of the next period. Well, I gotta go. Yeah. If Koji isn't mistaken, Yo is supposed to have class next period too, but she just sits there, staring off into space. Unable to come up with anything to say, he leaves the cafeteria reluctantly. Okay. Is he gonna do it? Both Omi's disappearance and Yo's depression worry Koji, and both problems lead back to the exact same place, and he's gonna go and get himself killed like an idiot. What the hell is Fuminori doing? Sorry, I can't do the echoey internal monologue voice. Sorry. When Omi... Actually, I might be able to with editing. We'll see. When Omi went missing... Ah, fuck, I did it again. I keep just slightly nudging the middle thing. When Omi went missing, the first thing he did was question Fuminori. After all, the last time he'd seen her was just before he stormed off to give Fuminori a piece of her mind. And now he's gonna come and it's like, oh, well, you did see her actually, and you killed her and ate most of the fucking corpse. Fuminori responded with unequivocal denial, and acted like he hadn't the slightest idea why Omi would have gone to see him. Perhaps that was only natural, as he was unaware that Omi and Koji had witnessed him reduce Yo to tears. Did Omi even make it to Fuminori's house? She had been riding a wave of emotion when she'd left, and might have calmed down and changed her mind halfway there. Or perhaps she ran into trouble on the way. Koji concluded, or more accurately convinced himself, that one of these possibilities was the truth, subconsciously denying the one remaining possibility, that Fuminori was lying, that he had met Omi and was somehow involved with her disappearance. I just added a few words, and then, when questioned by the police, Koji told the truth about Omi's destination only up to the train station, maintaining that he had no idea where she planned to go after that. Why wouldn't you tell the full story? I mean, why would you do that? What the fuck's the police gonna do? The police is just gonna come around and be like, well, I heard that your friend was going to see your friend's friend. Care to comment? Like, no, fucking tell the police, you dip. He wanted to cooperate with the search, of course, but Omi couldn't have made it to Fuminori's house. Well, he fucking could have. Fuminori said so himself, didn't he? In that case, he told the police everything they needed to know. Okay, whatever. Not wanting to get the still fragile Fuminori involved, he forced himself to accept this flimsy logic. Dude, stop defending your friend to this extent. It's crazy. But the conflict has built inside of him without his notice, leaving unanswered suspicion to fester in his mind. Koji is deep in thought, paying no attention to his surroundings, but perhaps that is what allows him to catch sight of his friend's back through the crowd of milling students. Oh, there he is. Oh, this... Fuminori? At first, Koji assumes he's headed to the lecture hall, but it soon appears that he is instead going home. Strange. Medical students have required courses in the afternoon. Well, he obviously doesn't give a fuck about any of it. Though he is initially surprised, Koji's hesitation lasts only for a second. Is he gonna follow him home? Oh, okay, cool. So we're gonna make it that the one that is crushing on him is the last to die. Awesome. He follows his friend, taking care to stay far enough behind that he won't be noticed. Oh my god. Fuck. Fuminori wasn't going home, as became obvious when he boarded a train heading in the opposite direction. Koji's next guess was that he was going to see his doctor at the T University Hospital. But Fuminori rode straight through the closest station. Where is he going? At first, Koji felt ashamed for tailing his friend like this, but his conscience fell silent as Fuminori's actions grew more mysterious. The stranger it gets, the closer Koji feels to discovering the truth behind Fuminori's sudden transformation. Any knowledge will be welcome, no matter how slight. Is he going to investigate? Even Koji is beginning to think that there must be more behind Fuminori's change than the accident alone. He wants a more satisfying answer, one that will help him decide whether Fuminori can still be trusted. Fuminori gets off at a small station in a nondescript suburb of Tokyo. Koji follows, trying not to lose sight of him amid the other disembarking passengers. The area is quite desolate, with only a small bookstore, a convenience store, and a market in front of the train station. It is easy for Koji to keep Fuminori in view. This neighborhood was carved out of the Fuji foothills, and here and there remain steep inclines and wooden areas that escaped assimilation. Koji is amazed that such a quiet place exists less than an hour out of central Tokyo. Fuminori seems to know these streets. He moves quickly and purposely through the suburban community, his eyes fixed straight ahead. Before long, Fuminori reaches a house. Without ringing the bell or even knocking, he opens the door and vanishes inside, leaving Koji to wonder how Fuminori can treat the house as his own. After waiting to see if Fuminori comes back out, Koji approaches the gate and checks the nameplate. Ogai, it reads. Koji has never heard of anyone by that name among Fuminori's acquaintances. Next, his attention is drawn to the thick wad of leaflets sticking out of the mail slot. This, coupled with the general dilapidated feel of the place, suggests that it has been abandoned for some time. A small playground about 2 blocks away provides an adequate vantage point from which to watch the front of the Ogai home. Fortunately, it does not appear to be the sort of house that has a rear exit. Koji settles down on a bench to begin his stakeout. Should have brought more smokes. Oh no, now it's sunset. 1 hour passes, and then another, but there remains no sign of movement around the Ogai residence. Soon twilight settles upon the neighborhood. After Koji's 1 pack of cigarettes runs out, the stakeout becomes a battle against mounting impatience. He kills time by redialing Omi on the cell and sending her short text messages, but his efforts are futile, as he knew they would be. Damn. When the sky begins to turn deep blue and the streetlights come on, Fuminori finally emerges from the house and heads back towards the station with the same hurried stride. After brief consideration, Koji decides that right now, investigating the house is more important than tailing Fuminori. Okay. He rings the doorbell just to make sure. After receiving the expectation silence in response, he checks to make sure no one is watching and turns the doorknob. The door is not locked. Oh, Jesus. Okay. The moment he enters the house, stale air thick with mold and dust fills Koji's nostrils. It's the unmistakable smell of a house that has long lain untouched. There is a faint hint of something else in the air, something reminiscent of damp sewers and fetid cisterns. Flipping the light switch does nothing. The power must be cut off. Koji uses his cigarette lighter to illuminate the immediate area. Oh, something scary is going to happen, I bet. In the thick dust covering the floor, he sees several brand new trails of footprints that could have only been made by shoes. Fuminori's. Koji decides to follow suit and dispense with courtesy. He enters with his shoes on. What's happening? Okay, why is there a pause? Oh god. So slow. The lighter's flickering flame pushes back the deathly silence and gloom of the house. Koji is surprised to see evidence of life remaining. Everything from furniture to tableware and appliances. Nothing seems to be missing. The thickness of the dust suggests that the house has been empty for several months, which means the owner must have left it with little more than the clothes on his back. Could he have gone on a long vacation? The calendar on the den is still turned to April. What time is it now? Empty and silent, yet still exhibiting signs of life that was once lived in there. The house reminds Koji of a passenger ship entombed at the bottom of the sea. In a graveyard-like quiet and sinister thought. A sinister thought suddenly enters his mind. No one is living there, but that does not have to mean that the owner left. Maybe he was murdered, and his rotting corpse is right under Koji's feet. He finds himself wanting a stronger light. A flashlight in his hand would make him feel much better. God, it would make me feel a little bit better, but it would be nice if you could just turn all the lights on. Koji follows Fuminori's steps to the second floor, where he begins to catch the scent of paper in the stale air. It is the smell of old books, instantly recognizable to anyone who has worked in an antique store or library. The first room on the second floor turns out to be a study, its towering shelves packed with such a vast number of books that Koji fears for the stability of the floor. As a medical student himself... Oh wait, so he had to skip class as well! He is able to discern at a glance that the study belongs to a medical professional, and a high-level one at that. So that must be Sire's old house. Or maybe I should put in quotation marks, Sire. The doctor's old house. Judging by the content of the books, a smorgasbord of technical volumes far beyond a simple student's understanding, the owner's interests lie more with medical research than with clinical practice. Fuminori must have spent most of his time here. The scattered dust suggests that he was searching for something, and the contents of the desk drawers are in obvious disarray. A small pile of books stacked on the side table catches his eye. Being nearest to the desk, they must be the most frequently read. Their nature could shed some light on the character of the person who worked here. Koji frowns as he examines the 3 books. These aren't scientific texts like the rest, but old leather-bound Western tomes, like the sort you would find in a rare bookstore. The titles are meaningless to him. Traite des Chauffeurs appears to concern semiotics, but Ars Magna e Ultima is some kind of treatise on divination? Or what, did he turn his child, did he turn Sire into a monster, maybe? And then there's the Vryknik manuscript, which seems like some sort of picture book. When he pages through it, he finds the text utterly incomprehensible. Maybe it's some kind of cipher. Whatever they are, they clearly have nothing to do with medicine, refuting Koji's earlier guess that this Ogai was a doctor. Looking down, Koji suddenly notices the glint of something black and metallic underneath the chair. A pocket-sized flashlight, quite out of place among all the dusty books. Fuminori must have brought it in, but why did he forget it then? That seems suspicious. With relief, Koji exchanges his lighter for the flashlight. His tiny body emits a powerful white beam that casts away the darkness. His courage restored, he decides to explore the rest of the house. Is somebody gonna die? I'm so scared. Koji notes... Oh my god. Koji notices something strange, something that was not visible in the lighter's weaker flame. Oh god, I'm kind of nervous. The slime. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please don't kill him. Dark, oily stains everywhere. These stains are especially thick around the doorknobs and stair banisters, like somebody grasping them with hands wrapped in a greasy cloth. Oh god. Oh no. Looking closer, he sees places where slime was splashed low on the walls, almost as if a wet mop was run violently across the floor. Could Ogai have made these marks? If so, how? Koji begins to feel sick as he imagines a man shambling through the house with slime dripping from his body. Oh god. Oh my god, just leave. Finding the bedroom next to the study, Koji checks the closet on a hunch. Is he gonna get killed? He discovers 2 empty suitcases, not what one would leave behind when going on a long vacation. A sudden chill runs through him. Whoever was living here is still somewhere inside the house. Oh god. Suppressing the urge to flee. Damn it! Don't suppress the urge to flee. Flee! Flee! Flee, my pretty! Koji goes back downstairs to check the first floor. Oh no. If he finds a corpse, he'll have to call the police right away. He might get away with trespassing if he reports it first, but if they find the body later, it'll be awfully hard to explain his fingerprints all over the house. Oh god. Nope, haven't found him yet. The flashlight reveals the den to be covered with even more slime than the rest of the house. The sofa looks like it was dredged from the bottom of a swamp. God. In the kitchen, Koji takes one look at the sink and decides not to get any closer. He doesn't want any more fuel for his imagination. He reaches the door to the bathroom. Oh my god! A common scene from TV dramas flashes through his head. A body with slit wrists floating in a bathtub of water. Ugh. And wasn't there a movie where a hitman disposes of his victim in a bathtub filled with lye? Koji braces himself for the worst and opens the door slowly, then shines his light into the ceramic bathtub that appears from the darkness like a white ghost. Oh god. Oh no. Oh dear. Bones, so many bones. Bones black with dry flesh and blood. Koji puts one hand against the wall to steady himself as his legs threaten to buckle. Something is wrong. He realizes as he tries desperately to get his thoughts in order. Well, there are, as you previously mentioned, bones, so many bones, bones black with dry flesh and blood. So yeah, something is wrong. The bones are too... Oh, okay. Well, that's a different thing. The bones are too small, and there are far too many of them. Ah, is this where all the cat skeletons are? They aren't human. Oh no. Oh no, don't appear behind him. After taking several deep breaths to calm himself, Koji enters the bathroom and examines the tub. Oh no. I don't like this music, it's way too horror-y. The bones are piled atop each other like fallen leaves. They appear to be from small animals, perhaps cats or dogs. I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, they probably are. Even so, the quantity is mind-boggling. How many bodies would it take to produce this many bones? The bones have all been separated from one another, so it doesn't look like bodies were just thrown in the tub and left to rot. Each bone is covered with deep grooves, marks left by teeth biting through the flesh. Yeah, so this is where all the drumsticks go. Koji's sanity won't let him consider the possibility that a human could have done this. The owner of this house must be some sort of keep some sort of carnivorous animal as a pet, giving it the bones of small animals to eat and disposing of the remains in the bathtub. But why not dispose of the leftovers properly? They could have just been thrown out with the garbage. Was there something keeping him from leaving the house? The relief Koji felt when he realized the bones weren't human is once again under attack. In the first place, what the hell was Fuminori doing here? Oh jeez! Okay, that's not as bad as it could have been, but still, that's intimidating. What's wrong, Koji? Koji whirls around, his light revealing Fuminori's expressionless face. You're trespassing. Well, so are you. So are you. Koji replies, barely managing to speak over the pounding of his heart. Fuminori pushes past Koji and looks into the bathtub. He doesn't even flinch at the sight of the bones. A friend of mine lives here. I'm just running an errand. Well, actually, I was about to say, isn't it creepy that he doesn't give a shit about the bones? But then again, given that everything looks like bones, that probably, and, you know, stomachs and everything, it's probably not that bad. Probably looks like pool noodles. Who put all these pool noodles into the bathtub? What? Who is this friend? When did you meet them? Koji doesn't want to believe that the old friendly Fuminori could have contact with the denizens of this house. I'll introduce you one of these days, he says, turning to leave without even a glance at Koji. I owe her my life. Is that like an ominous, she's gonna eat me for sustenance? Oh, come on, I didn't touch it. Hey, Fuminori! Koji runs after Fuminori. His head is finally beating normally again. Wait, is this friend of yours the reason you've been acting so strange? Standing in the entrance, Fuminori glares coldly at Koji over his shoulder. Well, it's not over his shoulder. The utter lack of emotion in his eyes gives Koji pause. You followed me, didn't you? Koji swallows. What can he say? You're starting to bother me, Koji. Don't do it again. Fine. Yeah, like as if he's gonna let that shit go. Fuminori walks away without another word, leaving Koji alone in the entrance. Up until this very moment, concern for his friend was still at the forefront of his mind. Now, however, that concern is swiftly giving way to a growing sense of dread. Does the Fuminori he knew no longer exist? Was the person who just stared Koji down an imposter wearing Fuminori's skin? Koji has begun to believe that it might be so. Okay, well, sure. I mean, that seems reasonable. I think we're gonna stop here. Yep. Nobody got killed in this episode. Huzzah! Isn't that great for everyone? Anyway, thank you guys once again so much for watching. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. More episodes every week. Words. I'm done talking. Bye.